the following is not a keyword in Java? Static, Boolean, void, and private. So its correct answer is Boolean. You can see in the explanation that Boolean is not a keyword in Java. The correct keyword is Boolean with lowercase. So this static, void, and private all are valid keywords in Java. Let's jump to our next question, which is which of the following is a valid declaration of an array in Java? Look at this options very carefully. So its correct answer can be both A and B, but we prefer most of the time this option A because A is preferred due to its readability. You can understand why the C and D are not the proper syntax, because C and D are invalid because they don't specify the size of the array. So point to be remembered here is whenever we are declaring any array, we have to give the size of the array so that it should be counted as a valid syntax. Let's jump to our third question, which is which of the statements are true about inheritance in Java through class? All classes are derived from object class. Multiple inheritance is allowed. A class can implement multiple interfaces. Java does not support inheritance. So the correct answer would be option A and option C. As you can see, A and C are correct. You can read the explanation that option A is true because all the classes in Java are derived from the object class, and option C, why it is true? It is true because a class can implement multiple interfaces. So here point to be remembered is to achieve multiple inheritance in Java, we have to use interfaces. And this B and D, why these are wrong answers? So B is false because Java does not support multiple inheritance with classes. It supports with interfaces. And option D is false because Java does support inheritance. And next, jump to our fourth question, which is what will be the output of the following code? So simply here x value is 10 and y is 20. So this is the easy one. So correct would be 30. So let's jump to our next question, which is which of the following is the correct way to instantiate an object in Java? So you can read out the options here. So here the correct answer is option A, because in option A we are mentioning the class name, then the reference variable, the new keyword, and then the constructor. That's why it is the correct syntax for instantiating an object. Option B, why this is wrong? Option B only declares the reference, not the object. In option B, we are only declaring the references, and we are not doing any instantiation upon it. And in option C, C does not include the type of the declaration. So you can see in option C, here this object reference is not able to identify what type of object it is going to create. And in option D, you can see this is obviously an incorrect syntax. So now let's jump to our next question, which is which of the following data type can store the largest number in Java? Int, float, long, and double. So its correct answer is double. As you can see in the explanation, the double size is 64 bits and its range approximately 1.7.97 something. So if you have a doubt that double and long both can contain 64 bits, but double can also double has like where it is, double can have 15 decimal digits of precision. Like after point more 15 decimal numbers can store, double can store, but long only can store non-precision numbers like decimal numbers. And the int can store only 32 bits, float can store 32 bits with 7 decimal digits of precision, and long can store 64 bits, but it cannot store any precision. So its correct answer is double. So let's jump to our next question, which is which keyword is used to prevent a method from being overridden in Java? Static, final, private, and protected. You can guess the correct answer in the comments. So its correct answer would be final. As you can see in the explanation that the final keyword is used to prevent a method from being overridden. So if we declare any method as final, then that method cannot be overridden. You can see why these other options are incorrect, that static relates to class level methods. So if we declare any method as a static inside a class, then that class is not referring to any object. This method should always refer to a class. Private restricts access but does not prevent overriding. Protected allows inheritance but does not prevent overriding. So now let's jump to our next question, which is what is the default value of a local variable in Java? So what can be the default value of a local variable? Option 0, null, undefined, and no default value. So you can comment down the correct answer of this. So its correct answer is no default value, because actually local variables are depend upon their data types. So how can we generalize the value of a local variable? So you can see the explanation that local variables do not have a default value. They must be initialized before use. Okay, so whenever we are using this, before using, we have to initialize them with a value, and it obviously depends upon the data types. So 0, null, and undefined are not default values for local variables. So let's jump to our next question, which is what is the size of int data type in Java? 16 bits, 32 bits, 84 bits, and platform dependent. So its correct answer is 32 bits. As you can see the explanation that int in Java is always 32 bits, means 4 bytes. So one byte equal to 8 bits. In this way, 4 bytes equal to 32 bits. And 16 bits and 64 bits are size of other data types. And platform dependent is incorrect, as Java specifies data type sizes. And let's jump to our next question. Which method must be implemented by all the threads in Java? Run, start, main, and init. So its correct answer is run method. As you can see in the explanation that the run method must be implemented to define threads task. So whichever thread you are creating, you must use this run method there. Incorrect answers are start, main, and init. Start is used to start the thread, not define its behavior. Main is the entry point for the application, and it is not specific to threads. And init is used in applets, not in threads. So now let's jump to our next question, which is what will be the result of 5 divided by 2 in Java? 2.5, 3, 2, and 2.0. So its correct answer is 2. As you can see in the explanation that 5 by 2 results in the integer division. 5 is also an integer, 2 is also an integer. So discarding the fractional part. So whenever we are dividing any integer divided by integer in Java, so if in the result some fractional value will come, then it will obviously discard the fractional value and keep only the integer part. So 5 divided by 2 will be 2.5, but 0.5 will be discarded by Java. So the result will be 2. You can understand the incorrect answers, that 2.5 and 2.0 would be correct for floating point division. So if you are using floating data type, then this 2.5 or 2.0 can be possible, but for integer it should be 2, and 3 is obviously incorrect. So now let's jump to our next question, which is which of the following is the correct syntax for a for loop in Java? You can read these options. So its correct answer is option A. As you can see in the explanation that this is a correct option. So whenever you are using for loop, we have to must give the type of the variable, then we have to assign a value to it, then again we have to put some conditions, the termination point where this loop should stop, and then like the increment or decrement values. So only this option contains the perfect combination of for loop. In option B, we are not defining any type for I. In option C, we are not using any parenthesis here. And in option D, we are not initializing this I. So now let's jump to our next question, which is which of the following can be used as a variable name in Java? One variable, variable with dollar symbol, variable with hash symbol, variable hyphen name. So its correct answer is this dollar, because this variable dollar is valid because dollar is allowed in variable names, but one variable cannot, but one variable is not a proper answer because it cannot start with a number. Variable hash and variable hyphen name contain illegal characters, so its correct answer is variable dollar. Let's jump to our next question, which is which of the following is not an OOP concept in Java? OOP stands for object oriented programming. So option A is polymorphism, encapsulation, compilation, and inheritance. So its correct answer is compilation because it is a process and it is not any OOPs concept. So we have majorly four OOPs concepts are there, which is polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, and abstractions. And this compilation is not a OOPs concept, it is actually a process. Now let's jump to our next question, which is which operator is used to allocate memory for an object in Java? Malloc, new, calloc, and sizeof. So its correct answer is new. As you can see, the new keyword allocates memory of an object in Java. The malloc and calloc are used in C and C++, not in Java, and the sizeof is also used in C and C++ to determine the size of data type. So now let's go to our next question, which is which access modifier makes a variable accessible only within its own class? Okay, which access modifier makes a variable accessible only within its own class? Public, protected, private, default. So its correct answer is private. So private restricts access to within the class only. So if a method or a variable is defined as private, then it can be only accessible inside the class only. And the incorrect answers are public, protected, and default. As public allows access from anywhere, protected allows access within the package and subclasses, and default allows access within the package. So now let's jump to our next question, which is which method is used to compare two strings for equality in Java? Equal to, equals, compare, compare to. So its correct answer is equals. As you can see, equals compares the content of two strings for equality, and double equal to compares references, not content. So if we use double equal to for comparison, then it compares the reference, means the object, the memory where it is actually created, and compare and compare to are used for comparison, not strictly for equality. Now let's jump to our next question, which is what is the result of true and false in Java? So if we and true and false, then what will be the result? True, false, 1 or 0. So its correct answer is false. As you can see, true and false evaluates to false because both conditions must be true. So if you want to AND something and you have to get the result as true, then the both conditions, both values should be true. True and 1 are incorrect because both conditions are not true. 0 is not a valid boolean value. So now let's jump to our next question. Which of these is a result keyword in Java? Goto, const, strict fp, and volatile. So its correct answer is volatile. As you can see, volatile is a reserved keyword used for synchronization, and goto, const are reserved but not used, and a strict fp is a keyword but specific to floating point calculations only. Now let's jump to our next question, which is which of the following is not a loop structure in Java? For, while, do while, and repeat until. So its correct answer is repeat until. As you can see, repeat until does not exist in Java. It is a structure in other languages. Incorrect answers are for, while, do while, because these all are valid loop structure in Java.